Over here today with Baker University head women's basketball coach Ben Lister. Coach, you guys are 4 games into the season, but now you get to come home this Saturday in your Hart home opener against William Penn. But first off, big game last night against nationally ranked Central Methodist. A tough 3-point loss, but what do you hope to take away from last night's game?
Well, I think we grew up a little bit in the second half. I think what you're trying to look for this time of the year is the players that are going to have some consistency for you. We have so many new kids this year, especially in our second 5 and the back end of our rotation, that we're still trying to figure out what they're capable of. That we're still in the process of trying to make sure that we're executing and playing at the level that we feel like we want to be playing at. And it's really hard to do right now for every team because it's so early in the year and we're in conference play already. So, you step out and you play a team that's ranked 15th in the country that won the conference last year on their home court. We played 3 pretty solid quarters and 1 really, really bad quarter. And that ended up costing us the game. But, the positives are we showed a lot of resiliency. We were down 20. Came back, had a chance to tie it there at the end of the game with a 3-pointer with one of our best shooters. Just came up short, but we certainly played the second half like I think we're capable of playing. If we can get that kind of consistency and that kind of effort out of our group, then we got a chance to have a really good year. And for us so far this year, it's been kind of that situation where we've been up and down. I thought at Clark, the game before, we had the same type of situation. We were up 20 and we let them back in the game. So haven't played full games yet like we want to. And again, some of that is just rotations and learning our kids and our new players and figuring things out. But for the most part, we see a lot of potential. It's just a matter of putting things together and being able to maximize that for 4 quarters.
Yeah, like you said, beginning of the year, it's been kind of a story of different runs. Good runs your way, some runs for the other team. How do you hope to stop some of those runs and become a little more consistent?
Well, I think one of the reasons we've been good the last few years is because we've guarded well, and we haven't done that as well as we are capable of for 4 quarters. That's been something that we've really tried to hammer home in practice, is just being a consistent defensive team for 4 quarters, paying attention to your scouting reports, understanding who you're guarding, how you're supposed to guard them, what we're trying to do defensively as a group, and eliminating some mental mistakes. And we're giving up more points than what we did last year. I think some of those things will come, again, with some of the new players and some kids that have redshirted and sat out a couple years with injuries and things like that. I think they have the ability to be a good defensive team, a very good defensive team. It's just a matter of doing it for 4 quarters and not in spurts. And when you're inconsistent, you're going to play in spurts. And offensively, we can put points on the board. We're averaging almost 75 a game, which is well above what we averaged last year. This team can really shoot the ball. We can spread the floor. We can do a lot of different things. But we're going to have to guard better, and we're going to have to take better care of the basketball if we want to have a chance to win our conference.
Yeah, it will be your home opener on the 19th coming up on Saturday. The Baker fans are well versed into your returners, but how about some of the newcomers? Who are some of the new faces Baker fans will see on Saturday?
Yeah, we got a mix of a lot of new players. Our second 5 in particular is pretty much all new kids. There's a couple of veteran players, but Anna Hignight's a kid that you're going to see a lot on the floor. It's a transfer from Missouri Southern. She's really stepped in and played well early, very smart, does a lot of really positive things for us on the floor, takes care of the basketball, really like what she's done. Taylor Smith, redshirted for us last year. It's a kid that really actually played some really nice minutes for us against Central Methodist in the second half. Carrington Ream, freshman from Ottawa, scored 11 on the road last night and hit some really big shots in the second half against CMU. We really think she has a lot of upside. Jody Atkins, a freshman from Texas, has played very well. She scored double figures in her first game of the season and played well there. All of them are inconsistent, and so you may not see them all on the floor tomorrow. Some of them might be playing for 2 minutes, some might be playing for 20. It's just a matter of how well they show up that day, because they haven't gotten to the point where I know what I'm going to get out of them every single time. But those kids are all kids that have really stepped up and done a nice job. Joanne Lira, playing the backup point guard, really played well in the second half against CMU also. So those are some key kids They're not the only ones, but those are some kids that have stepped up nicely here in the beginning of the year that you'll see on the floor for us with our group of veterans that we have returning.
How about William Penn? It's a team that defeated Central Methodist in its heart opener. What have you seen on film for them? What's been successful for them so far?
Well, they're much improved. They're fast, athletic. They press all over the place, create turnovers. They get you to panic. They get you to force shots. They're playing defense at a very high level. They beat Mount Mercy by 30. They were up by close to 30 on CMU at one point. So we're going to have to emphasize taking care of the basketball against the press and rebounding the basketball against a very athletic team. We're going to have to find a way to slow them down in their transition game. Those are going to be our three main points of emphasis, but they're much improved. They've gotten up to a very good start in conference play. I think they're going to be a contender all year. I think their style of play is much different than what we see from everybody else. And so we're going to have a couple of days of preparation of really trying to be ready for something that we don't see very often in our league. So it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a good test for us. We're going to have to learn how to take care of the basketball at some point anyway, so you might as well play a team that can run and trap and press everywhere and kind of see if you're going to get exposed or not. But I think we'll be up to the challenge. I think our girls are looking forward to being on their home court for the first time this year. We're really excited about that. We've been on the road a bunch already, and we're ready to come back in front of our own fans and get our first home win of the season.
Yeah, I know Baker fans will be excited to see yours and the men's basketball team at the first time this season with big events going on Saturday. But I know Collins Gym will be excited to see the new Wildcat team on Saturday. So thank you for your time, Coach. We'll see you Saturday.
Yeah.